All right, guys, so next up we have St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. One of the more intriguing games for me in the tournament going in to the bracket before it was released. Both these teams actually, I believe, could go on serious runs in the tournament depending on the matchup. Unfortunately, they got matched up with each other, so this is a very difficult decision for me. Grand Canyon, I've been really impressed with. They actually have a really impressive resume when you look at it. We'll get to that later. Then St. Mary's, talking about them. They have a few questionable losses, but going back to last year, they have a lot of the same team from last season. And think back to the NCAA tournament last year. They were beating Uconn. Their best player, Duquesne, goes down against Uconn. They lose the game ultimately, but they could have knocked out the national champs if Duquesne doesn't get hurt. Let's talk about it. St. Mary's, all right, 26-7, first in the WCC West Coast Conference. Why couldn't I say that all of a sudden? I was thinking WAC, but West Coast Conference. 2 wins over Gonzaga. We'll get to that in a little bit, though. All right, win over New Mexico. All right, New Mexico is a tournament team, so that's a really solid win there. Weber State, questionable loss. San Diego State kind of pounded them a little bit, but San Diego State's a good team. We know that. All right, made the national championship last year. Xavier, all right, they get the win here. Beat St. Mary's, all right, pretty badly. Not the best loss, but Xavier actually had a pretty good resume. You know, they beat some good teams, but ultimately you don't want to lose to a non-tournament team, though. Lose to Utah, non-tournament team. Lose to Boise. Boise State's actually playing right now, or about to anyway. You got to win over Colorado State. Colorado State beat Virginia the other day. Win over UNLV. UNLV kind of on that cut line for the tournament, the bubble. And then let's get to our favorite, Gonzaga. All right, you get the win over Gonzaga. First matchup, Gonzaga beat you in the second matchup. Then ultimately in the championship, they kind of manhandle Gonzaga a little bit, do whatever they want to them. I'm a real big fan of St. Mary's. I think this team does have Final Four potential. They haven't quite lived up to that potential, but if they don't have any injuries this year, knock on wood, I think this team can make a run. But can they get through Grand Canyon? Let's talk about Grand Canyon next. Like I said, Grand Canyon I'm a big fan of too. 29-4, first in the WAC. That's why I was saying WAC earlier, because I was thinking this one. But Grand Canyon, reason I want to talk about them. All right, non-conference wise, let's look at this resume. Lost to South Carolina. South Carolina's a really good team this year, but the win over San Diego State. All right, I just talked about the same San Diego State team that beat St. Mary's by 20+. Grand Canyon beat them, which means this game, St. Mary's might be in some trouble here. Grand Canyon can play. In particular, Grant Foster, if you have not seen this kid play, he's pretty dang good. All right, he's a big, athletic wing, probably more athletic than anybody on St. Mary's. Not saying he's better than anybody on St. Mary's, but more athletic. Like I said, kind of a modern NBA style. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he is getting drafted next year just off of the tournament performance alone. Really impressive to watch. But wins over Sam Houston, Louisiana Tech, both of them had good resumes, super good. And then moving on, ultimately end up running through their conference, getting the win over UT Arlington in the championship. But I think Grand Canyon is set to give St. Mary's fits. This is a coin flip game for me. Even being so high on St. Mary's, like I said, I think St. Mary's is Final Four caliber. Even with that being said, I think Grand Canyon can beat them. And this game's 50-50 for me. Just to compare, if you're comparing not head-to-head, but teams they both played, San Diego State, like I said, Grand Canyon beat them. St. Mary's didn't, and they got beat pretty badly. I think Grand Canyon's going to give St. Mary's troubles. In particular, can they guard Grant Foster? If they can guard Grant Foster, I think they'll be okay, but that's easier said than done. St. Mary's is going to need to get it going. They're going to need to play better than they were at the beginning of the year. They're going to have to play like they were at the end of the year in that championship against Gonzaga. If they play like that, they'll beat this team. But if not, they might be in trouble, and they might be out in round one. But I've got St. Mary's winning this game by single digits right to the end, right down to the end. I'm talking less than 3 or less probably. This is going to be a good game, probably a one-possession game, and I can't wait to watch this one. I've got St. Mary's barely. Who do you have winning this game? Let me know down in the comment section and why. Also, if you see this little ticker here, if you're in time, you can join my tournament challenge group on ESPN Tournament Challenge. I am hosting a bracket group. All you got to do, go to the community tab on my channel, click the first post. There's a link on there. That should send you right to it. First place winner gets a free AG t-shirt. All you got to do is be a YouTube subscriber. Why can I talk now? But again, let me know who you think wins this game down in the comment section. Like this video and subscribe.